Hello guys, and welcome to another weekly vlog. It is Tuesday. It's Mum going downtown day, but we're not doing that today. We did it on Sunday instead. Today she has an appointment with the my hair is this is a bad thing about vlog, and then you can see yourself. I washed my hair last night. I've been feeling a bit, because I've been eating so much less calories than usual. I feel a bit washed out. I haven't started exercising yet because I just have to get used to the new routine, so to speak. Darren says there's a towel fell. Yeah, that's not a towel, that's a part of the fascia. It's the same as the bit that fell off last time. And it's, sorry, got distracted, some parts falling off the roof. More houses going up here, there are so many, it's ridiculous. I want one. They're so much bigger and posher and nicer than our house, which is neither big nor posh. Yeah, so I'm feeling a bit blah. My mum's got a neurology appointment today. I have to take her to it. It's just started raining, which is great because it takes quite some time to get my mum into the car, up the ramp, clipped in, and it means the person doing it is going to get soaked and frozen. That'll be me. And then I have to somehow get her parked in a it's only at the GP's hospital in our hometown, so it's not far to go, but anybody knows how hard it is to get parked at your doctor's. But with my mum, I don't have an option to go a distance away because I need a wheelchair accessible space to have the space to get the ramp down, and sometimes there aren't any of those spaces, so it's really frustrating. So we'll have to leave enough time to do that. It takes about half hour to get my mum into a coat, into the chair, out of the house, into the car. So it'll be like about half an hour from the point of me deciding, right, let's go, before we're ready to go. So lots of planning out to do. Yeah, I washed my hair last night. I'm going to go to the hairdresser. I'm due to go on the 24th of this month. Today is the 4th of February, it's a Tuesday. I put this like colour conditioner in which washes out, but it's clinging on for grim death because my hair's so dry probably. So I'm going to go in and she's going to be like, what the fuck? But I prefer this brighter colour to like the muted colour it's been this last couple. I like the condition that she puts it in and stuff. But I'm hoping she's doing the T-bar highlights this time, which we haven't done for about 4 visits because my hair's been so dry. So I'm hoping that brightens it up a bit, but you can see how dark my roots are, well, where they're not grey. So we shall see. I'll just continue to put colour conditioner in it if I don't like it. So hopefully a few more washes between now and then will get this a bit less. Although I like this colour, when I go in she'll be like, well, what's going on with your hair? And it'll probably affect what she does to it. So we shall see. I put a thing up, I think last week or the week before, about the wallpaper I bought with the elks on it, like the forest print that I really liked, and then I put the black paneling at the bottom. Well, yesterday, I bought some more of that paper yesterday. Darren started papering the rest of the hallway properly because I didn't realise it was one of those peel off the back and stick on. So he started papering and it just wouldn't stick. Well, it stuck, don't get me wrong, but it kept like lifting. And we came down this morning and I'll put a picture in, it had all peeled, like rolled back, it had all peeled off, it wouldn't stick to the wall. Now I said to Darren, paste it and put it over the, but he didn't. He made it very clear he didn't want to do it. It's going to be a false economy, it's going to come off again. The other issue with it is that there's shrinkage, so when you put it up, you've lined it up perfectly, and it's one of those matching papers, quite hard to match too. So it's lined up perfectly, it looks great, but then the next day, a couple of days later, there's a gap, so the paper is shrinking, and then you can see like about a couple of millimetre gap between the two, which wasn't there before. So I'm like, overlap it by a tiny little bit and paste it, because my brain's saying we've paid for the paper and let's try this, and if it doesn't work then we'll do something else. And he's like, oh, it's a false economy. I said, it's not a false economy, we've already bought it, it's on the wall, we can't bring it back. I bought online, Temu actually. But then he's like, I don't want to put it on the wall because then when you have to paper over it, and I says, let me stop you there, what do you mean paper over it? I says, when you put wallpaper up you always strip, it'd be a complete nightmare to strip the whole wall, just one wall. I'm like, what? I said, I've always like stripped the entire room when I put up wallpaper, I always take it off. So he's completely aghast at the thought of putting up wallpaper, it not working, and having to take it down again. Telling me, well, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and blah blah blah. And it's like, and then you'll come down and look at it and say, I don't like that because it's not matching. I'm like, no, I just take it down then. No, I'm not saying that. And then when I said again, we'll do this, then he would argue why that wouldn't work. And then I says, well, just take it down then. I'm not saying that. It's like, Jesus, what do you want me to say? It's like, I tell you what to do, you tell me why that's not going to work, and then I say, we'll take it down then. And he says, that's not what I'm saying. It's like, well, honestly, and they say women are difficult. So my viewpoint would be, put paste on, put it up again, give a very slight overlap of a couple of millimeters, so the paper is actually, yes, it will slightly make the print off, but the print is so busy, I don't think it would be that visible. Also, the fact that 3 guitars will be going back up on the wall will also detract from that. And it is such a gorgeous print. But then it's like shrinkage. And I says, well, if you overlap them ever so slightly, if there is shrinkage, it's not going to show. But, oh no, that's not going to work, blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to be a disaster trying to get it off to paper over it. I'm thinking, what? Think back to my dad and my granddad papering, like, our house had to be decorated a lot because there were 4 smokers in the house, and that just yellows the paper on the ceiling. So they would paint the ceiling and re-paper the rooms probably once every year. And they both, well, as a family, because we all did it, you got a scraper out and away you went. Now a lot of people have got like those steamer things to lift paper off, but that's what a wallpaper scraper's for. And everybody that knows anything tells you, do not wallpaper over paper. But Darren's looking at me like I've got 2 heads when I've said, but you don't paper over wallpaper. What do you do, huh? So I'm going to this appointment with my mum, neurology, sort of like, I want to discuss it's not delirium now because there's no infection, but there's definitely something, and it's been able to discuss it without offending her, that, you know, she is imagining things that, you know, like her parents are still alive that have been dead for over 20 years, that she's imagining conversations, she's imagining like Barry McGuigan in A&E, she's imagining all sorts of things that aren't happening, and she's still doing it. So, you know, I need to try and put that across to the neurologist without offending her, because she'll argue that that's not the case, because she knows she's forgetful and she knows that she gets confused, but I don't think she realises how bad it is. So we'll see what happens there. If I get any time before I come home, I may go and look at some wallpaper in Harry Corey or Dunelm, but the problem is the price. I do not want to pay more than £10 per roll. We only need about 3 rolls, I think, because we're doing half and half. And what I paid for the other one was about £10 per roll. I actually got the first one out before we knew that it was peeling. There was a slight mismatch in the colour, so I complained about that and got a refund, and they says, do you want a, because it was a big roll, so it was like 20 quid, do you want a Temu credit for 20 quid, which we can give you now, or do you want us to pay you back to the original, you know, the bank or the card, which will take up to 15 business days? And I'm like, Temu credit. Now, if I had realised it was all going to peel off and I was going to have to go back and ask for a refund on the rest of it, then I would have got it paid to the bank. But the first one I got is Temu credit. Now, to be fair, I use Temu a lot. It's coming up to Isaac's birthday, and it's good for little bits and bobs. You know, I got things like an outdoor security light for my dad. Just little bits and pieces that you don't want to spend a load on. I'll tell you what it's really good for. They do these really big fleeces that you can put over your, like a single bed. They probably got double bed size ones as well, but you can actually choose the print that you want on it, and they will print it on this fleece. And I got a really gorgeous print of a werewolf in a forest scene. What band was it? Motionless in White, I think, on a big fleece that'll go on top of Isaac's bed, and it wasn't that expensive. And I mean, anywhere else that would cost you a bloody fortune. So little things like that. It's good for stuff like beanies, you know, like pin badges, just bits and bobs, little things. So the £20 credit I will spend easily. But the other 2 rolls, I got 2 small rolls and 1 big one, so in all I spent £40. So £20 has gone back to Temu, and I've requested an actual refund, which has been processed for the other 2. So I've got my money back. So obviously there must have been major issue, because there was no quibble. I just went straight to Temu and they refunded it immediately. So I do not want to be spending more than I spent on that on different paper, you know what I mean? Probably have to buy more paste now. Anyway, I don't think there's anything else to tell you other than I'm hungry. I'm trying to up my protein. I tried that whey protein powder for the first time today, and I don't like it. I've bought 2 fucking tubs. One of them's strawberry, the other one's caramel, salted caramel. But I expected it to be milk. Now, I don't know why I expected it to be milkshake consistency, because you add it to water. The only thing I can explain to you what it tastes like is if you took a glass of cold water and you added a spoonful of strawberry yogurt and shook it, that's what it tastes like. It tastes like strawberry yogurty water, which, okay, I'm going to drink it. I've bought it. I'm not wasting it, and it will increase my protein, which is what we want to do. I want to get back on some sort of exercise when my body's used to the, what the fuck? Where's all the sugar? Where's all the carbs? I'm just trying to make healthier choices by eating more protein and less. I'm cutting out white bread entirely. You know, eating things like scrambled eggs on like wholemeal bread. I bought some wholemeal wraps. Got some tuna, things like, you know, things that are just going to be healthier choices. I still occasionally will have a treat, but it just won't be as regular as it was. Because I just got into this spiral of, I put on, I don't know if I told you this, 2 stone from the end of summer last year. So during the time period that my dad went to Spain and everything kicked off, and I was just so stressed. Now, some people are the opposite when they're stressed and they don't eat. I was like just chucking it, you know, almost trying to make myself feel better. And the one thing that makes me feel better is chocolate and food that I shouldn't be eating. Just passing the health centre now. Oh Jesus, car park's absolutely full to bursting. Yeah, so 2 stone. I find it so easy to put weight on and so difficult to drop it. It's ridiculous. You know, it's like, I think to myself, well, how come if I eat crap I can put this much weight on in a week? I've seen me put on 5 pounds in a week. How's that even possible? But when you get other people that go on diets or go to Slimming World or whatever it may be, and they say things like, I know a guy that lost 10 pounds in his first week at Slimming World. It's like, what? And he has the official thing to show you. It's not that he's not lying. But normal people that, you know, he's maybe a lot heavier, but your average person going to Slimming World is losing like 4 or 5 pounds in a week. It's like, I have never, even when I had hyperemesis and I was bulking my ring up every day of the week and barely eating, I didn't lose that much weight. It's like, I don't get it. had my thyroid tested and apparently it's within normal parameters. So how someone with severe hyperemesis that requires hospitalisation can only lose half a stone a month is anybody's guess to me, because most dieters would not even be happy with half a stone a month. So anyway, I'm moaning about eating again, but if you're listening to this and you know anything about, you know, I'm thinking about Atari Fitness. I don't know if you're listening to this, but if you are, give me some suggestions of things I can do, you know, that will help me lose weight. Obviously I know exercise, but I'm working toward that. There's my dad locking the back gate. I don't know what he's doing. He's going somewhere. Yeah, so let me know. I've just arrived at the car park with my parents now. I'll switch you off when I've parked up. Just concentrating at the minute. My little brain doesn't want to do two things at once. Right guys, I shall check in with you later on. Hello, I am back in the car. It's 4:30. Neurologist appointment was a waste of time. She basically spent the whole time, I don't blame her to be fair, complaining about the state of the NHS and the fact that she only works 18 hours a week. She wants to be full-time, but they'll only give her 18 hours and there's not enough, you know. She basically spent the whole time saying the NHS is screwed, it's not fit for purpose. There's, you know, I can try and refer you for physio, because it's the one thing my mum asked about. But she says they might not give you it and the waiting list's really low. She just spent the whole time whinging. And she said that the delirium, or like the confusion, etc., is probably a progression of the MS, which I said, you know, we thought that was the case, but I just wanted it noted down. She asked about the wheelchair that my mum was in. She says it didn't look like it offered a lot of support around the head area. I says it doesn't, her head's never went on that. We were told it was the best, most suitable wheelchair that she had. Even when she had to stay in hospital in December just gone, the physio assessed her and said, yep, the wheelchair she's got is absolutely fine. That's the type of one I would have suggested. And she looked with an eyebrow up like, what? And I says, yes, exactly. And then she was asking about sitting in the house. Now, I wouldn't have started if she hadn't have asked. But I explained about the wheelchair and the chair in the house with a broken foot plate that she came out and looked at and went away. And I says to my dad, what did she say she was going to do? Well, she says the chair was fine. So I told her this all. I said it's an absolute nightmare trying to get anything done. I said when the chair arrived it was broken. The social worker and occupational therapist had the conversation in front of my husband that it was broken, and then when he phoned up to complain about the fact that they still hadn't been to fix it, oh well, what makes you think it's broken? He says, because I sat beside you when you were discussing the fact it was broken on the day it was delivered. Then there was the fact the carer messed with it and it broke it and it's still not been fixed. So anyway, I'm explaining all this, and I feel like all the appointment was me complaining about physios and OTs. But the problem is she asked, sorry, not physios, OTs and social workers, and you know, the inference maybe was that we weren't making the effort to try and get her a wheelchair that would be seen as being more suitable. But it's like, no, we've tried everything to get her a wheelchair that's more suitable. Bloody hell, that's bright. So it was pretty much a waste of time. She's referred her for physio, but told her she doesn't know whether or not she'll get physio, but she'll put it down. She is gonna pass my concerns on to the OT. Yeah, that'll do jack shit. And she's like, oh, well, I tried to phone yesterday, and I said, is there any way a note could be put on the system for calls to be made in the afternoon, because no one's ever able in the morning? And she said, no, we can't do it, and looked at me like a two-heads. Oh, we can't do that. And you know, and basically made out I was asking for, you know, fucking crown jewels or something. It's really busy down here. I'm going to Harry Corey's. I don't really know why, because it's going to be too expensive, but I'm going for a look anyway for this wallpaper. I'm clearly too close to the car in front of me. I don't even know what I was just saying, but anyway, the appointment was pretty much a waste of time, but it's done. Tomorrow I've got some admin to do for Scouts. They're going on a hike on the 22nd of this month, and I have to get who all's going, send out all the paperwork, all that palaver. Oh, don't tell me. Oh, fucking hell. Right, Harry Corey isn't there anymore. For fuck's sake. Right, I've driven all the way down here and it's now at Halfords. No, hang on. Oh no, hang on. Is it? Alright. Used to be there. I think it's down near Smiths and B&M now. Oh god. I'm going to get stuck on rush hour traffic at this rate. It is now 4:30. In half an hour the town is going to be fucking gridlocked. Yeah, I can't remember what I was talking about before I realised Harry Corey was missing. What was I saying? And the thing is, this will be a wasted fucking journey because the wallpaper will all be like 20 quid a roll or something. I'm looking for 10 a roll. You'll be going, you'll be fucking lucky. Well, that's what I'm looking for. Whew, I'm looking windswept and interesting. That's a Billy Connolly joke in case you think I'm lost a plot. What's that? Oh, that's my measurements of my wallpaper. So I got wallpaper. I don't like it as I don't like it as much as the one I had bought, but I think it will brighten up the hallway. I'm still keeping the black panel on the bottom, but I've got a silver colour. I don't know if I can reach it to show it to you. I only wanted to spend a tenner a roll. It was 14 a roll, but it was reduced down from a lot more than that. Oh, here. I'll just try and open the bag and take one out. I better pull the seat out. Oh Jesus, I don't know what's going on there. Why am I doing this? I'm sure you're not slightest bit bothered about wallpaper. So, you can't see it, but it does have like little shiny, I can see it under this light, you maybe can't, it has little shiny flecks in it, it's glittery. So I thought this on the top and the black panel on the bottom would be really nice. Obviously not as nice as the like really patterned elk one, which was gorgeous, which apparently was an AI printing. I didn't know that. I read the review and someone else had written it was AI. It's a gorgeous paper, but if it doesn't stick, it's not much use, is it? I've heard of people getting stick wallpapers that don't stick before, but this is the first one I ever bought, and to be honest, I wouldn't have bought it if I'd known it was that type, but I'd already bought it, so what can you do? And I'd pasted it up to the wall like a prat. So I am now heading home. I shall check in with you, maybe my headlights need to be put on. I'll check in with you guys tomorrow if I have anything of interest to tell you, which means I probably won't check in. Right, I'm gonna go. It's 5 o'clock. I got out of town just before 5, so that's good. I should be able to get home and no traffic to speak of. I shall check in with you guys tomorrow. Happy Wednesday morning, folks. That big ball of sun, you would not think it was February. Look at that weather. Bet it's freezing out there though. Hello, it is Friday evening. I'm going in half an hour early to Scouts because Isaac has a hike with explorers through Glenara Forest. It is going to be perishingly freezing. It's freezing right now. They're hiking, well, they're leaving at 7, they're coming back for 9, so it's probably going to be 2 hours hiking. Hopefully he's wrapped up well enough. He's got gloves, he's got... Have you got your bag?
Possibly.
Yeah. So yeah, I shall check in maybe tomorrow. I don't think anything of any note is happening. Yeah, so I shall... Oh, I'll show you when I get back the wallpaper. It's almost finished.
I did my troll today.
Your troll?
Choosing subjects.
Oh, I'll go into detail about that when I have more time, about Isaac's GCSE choices and stuff. I shall speak to you later. I'm in Scouts early. Cubs are in out there. Okay, it's Friday night. I'm about to go to bed, but I thought I'd show you the wallpaper. Can you see the shiny bits now under the light? So that's the black panel wallpaper, and the silver one I bought, and there's like a little shiny border going up the middle. That's the wall that I had done with the other paper that's now got the silver one on. That means I got my little vulture back. And I'm going to buy, I think for this wall, I'm going to buy a nice mirror. We shall see, but it's done. Happy days. Hello, it is Saturday. We are popping into town. Remind me, I've got my prescription. The main reason, I need to get a few bits, but I need to collect my prescription. But I have been known to go into town with a purpose and a few incidentals, and I'll do the few incidentals and I'll forget the actual purpose. Right? What is that? Is that a mini tractor? Oh no, it's flipping tractors. Honest to God, it's, you think? I'm just going round the aforementioned tractor. It's really cold today, it's 4 degrees. Freezing. Isaac, we've left Isaac at home. He might be going to have Daniel over, but I don't think he will, because I doubt there'll be anybody able to drop him up. I've said, right, well, we're not in, make sure his mum knows if he comes over that we're going to be out for a couple of hours. Not be very long, but she might be cross to know that he's in a house unsupervised. And I said, I showed you the wallpaper last night, so the wallpaper's up. I've just got the guitars to, I could look and see if there's a mirror today. Because I quite fancy a nice silver framed mirror for the hallway, for just beside the door there, and then the guitars will go back up and that'll be it. Can you think of anything else of any note I need to update on?
Dobby's new day.
Oh yes, Dobby with the gurgly belly. So every so often Dobby gets her tummy gurgles all day long, and she won't eat, and it's like, why does this keep happening? I'd say it's maybe, what, once a month, would you say?
Yeah, once every 3 weeks.
And it's like, what is going on? And then eventually she's fine, but she's really, not herself. When I say not herself, she's, she's still in a good mood, she's still up and about, but Dobby's greedy, and when she doesn't want to eat, it's like, what's going on? So I did a bit of researching online, and apparently Dobby wolfs her food too fast, which can mean she ingests too much air. But what a lot of especially small breed dogs, they're fed twice a day, in the morning and like at tea time. But a lot of people say, rather than do that, if they go too long without eating, then they get this really gurgly belly and they go off their food. And the only way to sort of get them out of it is to tempt them with something like smelly and tasty. Like other people's dogs won't even eat their own dog treats that they really like, and Dobby would turn her nose up at dog treats too. So we tried her yesterday. Darren did a chicken drumstick for himself, and he only took a wee bit himself. Most of it was for Dobby, and we give her a little bit at a time, and she was absolutely fine to eat that. And then I think her tummy gurgled one more time, and that was it, and back to normal. So instead of 2 meals a day, now she has to have 4 smaller meals a day, because if you leave it too long between feeds, for some reason the dog gets so hungry that it starts its stomach doing that gurgle and it puts it off its food. A couple of people had said this, and other people had said, yeah, that happened, and they were all telling their own stories. I remember Sandy was fed twice a day, dog food like from a tin. This is the dog when I was a kid I grew up with, and they never had any issues or belly trouble or once a day.
Chewy was once a day. Well, Chewy had a bit of breakfast when he got a bit older.
But dogs we've had tend to have been slightly, not big dogs, but like Staffy sized dogs, and they're all like twice a day at most. Like Darren says his dog was once a day, absolutely fine, not skinny or anything like that. But we've had to change their feeding pattern to 4 small meals a day. So there you go. I'm sure that was interesting for you. Yeah, because they're getting food more often. Of course they're enjoying it. Just have to try and make sure we're not feeding them too much.
Yeah, tuna for their dinner.
Yeah, tuna for my bloody weight loss. in the house for me to eat, because I'm not eating very much. The dogs are not eating the tuna. I have lost weight this week, so at least my starvation hasn't been in vain. I can be like £2 different from one day to the next, so I'm not even going to say, you know, oh, I've lost this, because then I'll have put £2 on. I'm £2 lighter in the morning than I am the evening before. So what happens between the evening and the morning for me to, I think it must be water, I don't know, for me to be £2 different in weight is anybody's guess. And no, I haven't been to the toilet overnight, if that's what you're thinking. So 3 new starts at Scouts last night. 2 sisters called Ava Rose and Cora Beth. Absolutely mortified when I took their photograph for on the computer system. We have like all the details, and there's a space to put a photo on, and I like to put the photos on because I want to know who everyone is and get to know people with the photos. So I keep it all up to date. If there's a space for something to go or be written, it's getting filled. Simple as that. They were mortified. One of them's 12 and one of them's 10, well, almost 11. And the mum was in the office filling out all the forms, and she was telling us that the 12-year-old won't go out of the house. She gets up an hour before she has to leave the house in the morning, and she won't leave the house without a face of makeup on to go to school. Now obviously it has to be not like this, but you know, makeup, foundation, mascara, and she's 12. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I could see what Frances was thinking, because she's got a 14-year-old daughter, Emma, who's really, when I say young for her age, I don't mean naive, I just mean really nice for her age. She's not growing up too fast. She's not into plastering her face with makeup, and like a lot of the rest of them are going out to like clubs and stuff at 14, and she's just not that way yet. She's like kind of just right for her age. Another bloody tractor. But 12-year-old, full face of makeup, it's like, Jesus. Huh?
She did commit the act of blasphemy.
Who did?
Emma.
Why? She wore a Rolling Stones top without knowing anything about Rolling Stones. Who cares? Whatever. My face looks really like a balloon. There's always more to see to not like when you have to look at your face. Is this like Giles going on now? So yeah, they start, and I'll wait to hear this. One of the wee girls is called Emily. I'll tell you her surname in a minute. She is Polish, I believe, and she's friends with Ola. Alexandra is her full name, but she likes to be called Ola. Ola's lovely. Really, you know, gets stuck onto everything. You know, just a really nice girl. And this wee girl looks quite similar. They're both very short and quite stout. And the mother's terrifying of this new girl. The reason I brought Ola up is Emily, the new girl's, friends with her, so I put her in that patrol. And Frances was running late. The 2 male leaders didn't show up until like a minute before we were meant to start. I'm there on my own with all the scouts thinking, oh God, this woman is coming to enroll this girl. Nobody's told me she's coming. I'm expecting the other 2. Nobody's telling me she's coming. She was really abrupt, and I'm saying like, oh, is it Ava or whatever the other one was called, Cora? No, Emily. And I'm like, now I know there's a waiting list, and I know I can't just, I thought, is this woman just showed up with this kid to just think she can just join just like that? And I'm like, oh, there is a waiting list, you need to speak to the district leader, Eugene. And the look she gave me, and she was like this, and the leader of the Beavers was just leaving at the time, and she knows this woman, and she's Polish as well, and they were talking in Polish, and she was like looking at her like, you know, oh, get her telling me I can't join. She had a real attitude about her. She's as nice as pie now, really nice via text, but she like got Facebook up, and she was like scrolling through this big long message with Eugene that I knew nothing about. Not letting me say it or anything, just look at this. So like, I'm thinking, I'm not arguing with this woman. Yous have left me on my own. So I got her signed up, and she filled out the form and I picked it up. And her surname, Wankowitz. W-A-N-K, Wank. And then I can't remember the end of it, but the start of it's funny enough. But I'm stood there thinking, how am I supposed to?
Wanker what?
Yeah.
What are wits?
So I had to get them all up on the system. There's so much paperwork when new kids start, and emergency contacts, parents contact, just adding them to WhatsApp, sending them details of everything that's coming up, how to get uniform. It's a ball ache. And 3 of them started at once last night. We were supposed to be working or like at the hall next week, but then someone pointed out it's half term and the beavers and cubs are off, so it's going to be weird if the scouts are in. So the thing we were meant to do next week, Francis had asked, could somebody come up with questions for the equipment quiz, meaning like equipment to take on a day hike. And I'm like, well, I know enough all about equipment, but I'll have a go because it's admin-y, isn't it? It's background stuff. So then someone mentioned about the half term, and I'm thinking, crap, but how are we supposed to get this fitted in? That's a week gone. So I thought, right, we can squeeze these 2 things into tonight. So I set about doing the questions for this equipment quiz. I think I had about 2 hours to get it all done. Not even that. But I got it done and we did the equipment quiz, so that was good.
Hey, Spike might be in town today.
Huh?
Spike might be in town today.
Oh, is he at the Diamond tonight?
Yeah.
Spike from Choir Boys, the singer from Choir Boys.
Mike Trump from White Lion, he quite often trots around town when he plays at Diamond.
I really, really like Spike's acoustic. I went to see, a few years ago we did an acoustic set one week and electric the one after, or it might have been the day, I can't remember, was it the day after? And I actually prefer the acoustic set. He's just got the perfect, he sounds a bit like Rod Stewart, but better.
Faces here of Rod Stewart.
They do a song called Mona Lisa Smile as well, so it's the only bloody song with my name in it, apart from one by Lita Ford, which is absolutely terrible, which I think is about her mother. Yeah, so quite like, you see, but it's not an early show, so we can't bring Isaac. So
It's an early show.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know that.
I told you ages ago.
I've forgotten. Actually, I don't know if Isaac would like. Well, sure, Isaac probably would really like him because he's quite cool, isn't he?
It's only 13 quid.
Yeah, but it's probably sold out.
It's not sold out. Don't know why, but it's not sold out.
I don't know. I do really like Spike. It's just having to, you know, like go out when you fucking talk to people you don't want to talk to, you know, that sort of way. Why is Ricky Warwick sold out so quickly and Spike hasn't?
Because the Almighty reformed, so it was all people who were backing the Almighty once. If it weren't for the Almighty reforming, I don't think Ricky Warwick would have filled it.
He always does when he comes. He's always been very popular there. Right, anyway, I'm just waffling crap at you now. Right, I shall get off this, concentrate because traffic is busy, and I shall catch up with you guys later. Good morning. It is Sunday. I'm closing the vlog off for the week now rather than in the noisy car. The doggies are relaxing on a Snuggie and Darren's padded shirt. I'm just going to let you see what I've been having for my breakfast since I've been trying to get healthier. People's going to say, that's not healthy, Lisa. Right, so I've got my usual cup of coffee in my Dexter mug. Should be drinking it black if I'm trying to be healthy. I have got my whey protein, strawberry, it's better, the caramel one's better, and I have got a rice cake, and that's it for now. It's not a lot, but the protein is almost like meal replacement, so it's basically just upping your protein. That is actual carbohydrates, which is typical. I just can't seem to, honestly, my arm, this is why I can't film in the house, because My arm is too sore. Look at my red face. This is completely sans makeup, guys. Oh dear God. Why is my face so red? I don't understand it. So I usually film in the car because by that stage I've had time to get ready, put makeup on. I don't wear makeup every day, but I do when I'm going somewhere. So that's why you usually don't see filming from me every day, because this does not need inflicted on the world, is it? Giles. Dobby had a sore eye yesterday, but it seems to be doing fine today, so that's good. Anything else to tell you? Oh, let me show you the finished embroidery that I did for my parents. So this is it finished. It squished the ones that were like really standing out, those like bigger flowers. That's 50 in the middle for 50th anniversary. I'm really unhappy with that bit, 15th of Feb 2025. But it's so hard to try and get it, embroidery fit it in that you can read. And then mum and dad at the bottom, so. And it's in a gold frame because it's golden wedding anniversary. So it's a week today since I started being proper strict with what I'm eating. I allow myself a little cheat on a Saturday, and no other day. I haven't ate any chocolate. I have lost some weight. I'm not going to give figures, but I have lost a little bit of weight. We just have to keep at it. The thing I really want to get back to is being able to exercise, which again, every morning I wake up at the minute, I feel like the only way I can explain it to you is that why is it gone really dark? Either I've had a really bad fall the night before, or someone's given me a really bad kick and they've put me down and kicked me all over, because I wake up and I feel like I'm bruised from head to toe. It's really hard to move about. It's so difficult to get out of bed on cold days. So that, I think being able to exercise will make a massive difference. But I need to get to a healthier weight because I'm not getting any younger. And I'm starting to like get concerned about, well, I said before about heart disease and stuff, which I should really be concerned about before, but you get stuck in a rut, don't you? With fibro, like your social life's pretty shit. When I go out, generally, maybe 1 gig a year we have that we can take Isaac to. We don't go to gigs that we can't take Isaac to. We haven't in a lot of years now. Because quite simply, my parents, what is that? Would you mind? I've no idea what that is. I'll have to look. Something from one of the scout parents. Honestly, your phone's going constantly from people asking you questions. What was I going to say? That's a really good trick that she's just done there. She sent a text via WhatsApp. Now, obviously, I can just look on my home screen without opening it, and I should be able to see the top couple of lines of it and not open it so she knows I've opened it. But she has sent a separate one saying, "Thanks, Lisa," after it, which means all I will see is "Thanks, Lisa," and it means I have to open it. So there's a trick for you on WhatsApp. If you want a person to open a message immediately and have to respond to you, do a separate one saying "Thanks" at the bottom. I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, when you don't do much socially other than go to the cinema now and again, go to my mum's, because you just fucking hurt. It's really hard to plan. Like I felt like going to see Spike from Choir Boys last night, but when I got home and I got sat down and I thought about getting up and standing for a couple hours, I thought I can't. So we knocked that on the head. They could obviously have went if they wanted to. Isaac wasn't bothered. He wasn't really interested, to be honest. And you just are sat at home and you're sore. And my favourite thing in life is food, I have to admit. One of my favourite things, obviously, certain people and my dogs come before food, but you know what I mean. You just like to sit and eat. Other than chocolate, I don't think I eat any more than the next person. I certainly don't eat any more than Darren. He is hungry 24/7. And other than maybe needing to lose a little bit of weight around his middle, he's not fat. But I just pile the weight on. And like I say, I can put 4 to 5 pounds on in 1 week, but it will take me a month to check that 4 to 5 pounds. So it's frustrating. And you know, when I get on a roll, I have dropped 3 stone a couple of times. I have managed to do that, but it has been like a year of really hard work and a lot of exercise where I can do it. And it's just really demoralizing that when you like step off the bus, so to speak, when you stop just madly exercising, that it comes straight back on again. You can't like let it slip, you have to upkeep that. So what I'm trying to do instead is to do things that's maintainable. So I'm just trying to change my sort of outlook to food, like what I'm eating. I've just dropped the carbs almost entirely apart from wholemeal. I will have, like I said, a little bit here and there. I did have some boiled rice last night, but Saturday I'm allowing as a day where I can have a little bit of something that I want. I can look forward to that day, and the rest of the week I have to sort of just be sensible. So yeah, I have lost a little bit of weight, so that's good. And yeah, Isaac's off all next week on half term. We don't really have any plans at the minute. I'll have a think about that later. But I don't think we'll be doing much of anything because we're skint after Christmas, and then we had my dad's 70th, and then we had Darren's birthday, and then we have my parents' 50th wedding anniversary on the 15th of this month, and then we have Isaac's birthday at the 28th of this month. So like December, January, February is really expensive for us. So I doubt we'll be doing much of anything. I would imagine he'll want friends up at some stage. So I'll need to factor that into the grocery shop and make sure there's food in. Right, I shall see you next week, folks. Thank you for watching. Over a night from Kit and Caboodle.